Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says government has been talking to Pfizer, AstraZeneca and Sinopharm, all of them producers of the COVID-19 vaccine. He says, however, reaching out to the authorized suppliers doesn't mean that government will get the vaccines. The Prime Minister says none of his colleagues in CARICOM have been able to go out to the marketplace and buy a single vaccine because it's not available. He says because Trinidad and Tobago's COVID-19 situation was not as bad as others in the past few months, it may have worked against us in determining which country needed vaccines via the COVAX facility first.
None of us, not one of my colleagues in CARICOM, has been able to go out to the marketplace and buy a single vaccine because it's not available. So all the pages written and the demands of vaccinate the population with what? When the vaccines are available in the international community for us to buy, to obtain, to negotiate, we are there and we are doing as good as anybody else in the region and much better than many people in the world.
On the topic of vaccine hesitancy by the population, the Prime Minister says he too has concerns about the vaccines as they were developed in response to a pandemic in a relatively short time for emergency use. He says the alternative would have been to wait for 4 or 5 years while the vaccine was being proven to be beyond any objection, or to use it now and get the benefit.
We have been talking to Pfizer, we have been talking to AstraZeneca, we have been talking to Sinopharm producers, but all of these, the authorized suppliers, you going out doesn't mean I'm going to get vaccines. You can only get it if it's out there. What I'm trying to say over and over and over and over, that you go out there.
Another vaccine provider being looked at by the government is Cuba. Dr. Rowley says as soon as that vaccine gets WHO approval, government would be in line to use it. The Prime Minister is also reiterating that Tobago is not to blame for the increase in COVID-19 cases seen in April and May. Dr. Rowley says although it was stated by Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan that 50,000 people travelled between Trinidad and Tobago during a 7-day period for Easter, the figure was not significantly more than an average travel between the two islands. Cozier Phillip, TTT News.